The megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. Their television series captivate and enthrall us till the very last minute. That's what makes these Hollywood A-listers and their shows ratings winners. Keifer Sutherland. He is one of the biggest stars on our television screens, but we never really noticed the amount of power he had until he was offered a $40 million contract. He is now one of the highest paid actors in television drama, thanks to his leading role as Jack Bauer in the hit television series 24. 24 began in 2001 and is an Emmy and Golden Globe award-winning show which has received constant praise and attention from all over. 24, which is presented in real time, follows minute by minute the life of Jack Bauer, who works for the United States government branch of the counter-terrorist unit. Each episode represents 1 hour of a 24-hour period, hence the title 24, with Jack running around trying to stop terrorist attacks and save whichever member of the family has been kidnapped this time. This fast-paced drama series has seen ratings soar to over 13 million viewers, but the 6th season's 2-night, 4-hour premiere saw one of its largest audiences, 15.7 million viewers, and peaking at one stage to 16.3 million viewers. The success of 24 is thanks to its suspenseful storytelling, but also Keifer's talent as an actor, which has led him to also winning a number of awards, including a Golden Globe and an Emmy.
I think from the time I started, I've been fortunate enough to see how difficult it is with my father and with my mother, and so from the time I started, I was grateful to get the first job, and I'm equally grateful now.
But Keifer's success hasn't come easy. He has appeared in over 70 films, some of which have only seen him on screen for a number of minutes. His more memorable and successful films include the 80s vampire flick The Lost Boys, the movie version of the Stephen King novel Stand By Me, Young Guns, and more recently Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. If it wasn't for his name appearing in the credits, you probably wouldn't even know he was in it, unless you're a devoted Keifer fan. For the majority of the movie, you can only hear Keifer's voice, and it's not until the end that it is revealed with a twist who his character is. Phone Booth is another project that Keifer has appeared in that's presented in real time. The son of award-winning actor Donald Sutherland, Keifer also has a talent of a different kind. He has travelled with the rodeo circuit in the late 90s and has won rodeos in Phoenix and Albuquerque. He has even earned first place at the US Team Roping Championships. When beginning with the rodeo circuit, he decided to purchase all the things he needed: the horses, the bulls and cows, the tractors and the 900-acre ranch in Montana. Once all over though, and not needing it anymore, he sold it. So far, Keifer has come across as a fairly innocent guy, but like most Hollywood stars, he has had to have a number of 24 episodes rewritten to work around minor injuries he received while partying. And in late 2007, he had a run-in with the law. He was arrested for minor drink driving charges and tested over the state's legal blood alcohol limit, but was later released on a $25,000 bail. Lucky for him, he just received his $40 million contract. He was then sentenced to 48 days in jail, which he kindly served all at once. I'm sure Jack Bauer would have something to say about that, Keifer. Have you got a spare 24 hours? America Ferrera, best known for her geeky alter ego, Betty Suarez, on the hit comedy series Ugly Betty. But this award-winning actress is no ugly duckling. Underneath all the costumes, wigs and makeup hides a beautiful, curvaceous young lady whose character and image has inspired many. Her role, which made her famous around the world, has seen her become one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world for proving that nice can trump mean. She has accepted many awards for her work, including a Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild and an Emmy, and has been given much praise along the way. Since its release in 2006, Ugly Betty, which is an adaptation of the Colombian telenovela Betty La Fey, has been taking the world by storm. It follows the life of the unglamorous but good-natured Betty Suarez and her incompatible job at the glamorous New York City fashion magazine Mode. Much of the show is based around Betty not really fitting in. She is smart, sweet and hardworking, but she's not thin and beautiful like her co-workers. She is good-hearted and brave, but lacks social skills, self-confidence and fashion sense. This multi-award-winning show is viewed by millions around the world, generally receiving over 10 million viewers per episode. Since its debut, the Ugly Betty series has won 2 Golden Globes and received a mammoth 11 nominations at the 59th Emmy Awards.
I knew that we had a show that was very special, and I knew that we had a group of people that really loved it, and you know, you hope that the audience is going to love it and latch on, and we got really lucky, and so I'm just happy that this show has found an audience that really understands what it is and loves what it is.
The success of Ugly Betty and its stories dealing with body image have led to a number of news reports and experiments seeing how people discriminate against each other because of body shape and size. America, the youngest of 6 children, managed a small amount of success with the launch of her acting career, starring in Real Women Have Curves, which debuted at the Sundance Film Festival and the Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants. But it was being convinced by Salma Hayek, actor and executive producer of Ugly Betty, to play the very unflattering role of Betty that made America the star she is. America, like Selma, is proud of her curvaceous look and laughed off the fact that people thought Jessica Alba and Eva Longoria were curvy, saying, "Come on, they're not curvy, they're small. I'm curvy." And it has been proof that her curves are a big favourite with her fans, with People magazine voting her one of the most beautiful people. But her personality and gorgeous smile also have helped her to become the gorgeous person she is. Just to show how much effect her smile has, it has been insured by Lloyd's of London for $10 million. This announcement was also part of a program to raise money for Smile for Success, a nationwide organisation that provides free dental care for women transitioning from welfare to work. And what better role model to have than Ugly Betty? If ugly is the new beautiful in the land of Ugly Betty, then America Ferrera must be absolutely outstanding. Jerry Seinfeld, the only man in the world to be able to earn millions from a show about nothing. Even though his show ended many years ago, Jerry is still earning $60 million plus a year from the show's syndication rights. He became well known for his stand-up comedy routines when appearing in the early 80s on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He then became a regular on Late Night with David Letterman and The Merv Griffin Show. Ranked number 12 of the 100 greatest stand-ups of all time, this award-winning comedian, actor and writer came up with the idea of Seinfeld, a show about nothing in the late 80s, basing the main character, funnily enough named Jerry Seinfeld, loosely on himself. His three friends, George, Elaine and Kramer, again all based on people in Jerry's life, became regular visitors to households around the world. By season 9, the final season, Seinfeld was reaching ridiculous ratings. Over 21 million people tuned in to see what kind of mischief they were getting up to. Only Jerry and his tribe of perplexed and deranged friends could turn waiting in a line to see a movie or being stuck in a traffic jam hilarious. With Seinfeld wrapping up, an astounding 76 million viewers tuned in to see the final gut-busting but also quite sad episode. This was the third most watched finale in television history. Jerry was reportedly offered $5 million per episode to continue the show, but he refused. Why would he need to continue when he's still making money off it years later?
That's this wonderful memory. When we went off the air, we were the #1 show on television. We had 75 million viewers watch the last episode. Now, if I came back, I would be scuffling, it would be very depressing. Once you get to the top of the mountain, stay there.
With Seinfeld over and Jerry a very moneyed man, he was now able to concentrate on the more important things in his life, his Porsche collection. He is an avid automobile enthusiast and is rumoured to own one of the largest Porsche collections in the world. He made a proposal to build a $1.4 million multi-storage garage to park his cars in, and has even been known to rent out an entire hangar in California for an extended amount of time to store some of his collection. He owns over 40 of these seductive cars. 10 are the same car, but all painted different colours. His pride and joy is his $700,000 Porsche 959, one of only 268 ever built. The only problem, it wasn't street legal. Another collection Jerry takes pride in, but is a little more quirky, is his 500-plus collection of sneakers, and all of them are white. What's the bet he had a special closet made up to keep them all in? I wouldn't be surprised though, you'd think his $32 million house would have enough room. Staying out of the media for quite some time, Jerry only really appeared in a number of commercials for credit card bigwigs American Express and made a few cameo roles in different television shows. But most recently, he released the animated B-Movie. B-Movie, which he co-wrote, co-produced and starred in as the voice of Barry B. Benson, was Jerry's first major attempt to come back into the media industry since his Seinfeld days. With the popularity of B-Movie, it seems Jerry is once again the bee's knees of the industry. He may look like the rough, brutish type, but James Gandolfini is the opposite. He is in fact quite charming. James began his acting career on Broadway, starring opposite Alec Baldwin and Jessica Lange in A Streetcar Named Desire. His Broadway career could have taken off, but he decided to turn his attention to film instead, making a name for himself with a string of supporting roles. He played Virgil, a brutal woman-beating mobster in the romantic thriller True Romance, written by Quentin Tarantino, and a gay hitman hiding behind his macho physique in The Mexican, alongside Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt. It was roles like these that started earning him $5 million per film. But it was his role as Tony Soprano, the mafia boss and family man in the multi-award-winning television series The Sopranos, which earned him critical acclaim. The Sopranos had a successful run, receiving around 10 million viewers plus per episode. And by the last season, the cast members received a combined $52 million paycheck.
Arrangement. I see you haven't lost your sense of humor.
Well, you gotta have a sense of humor in life, right? You taught me that.
The Sopranos, set in New Jersey, revolved around mafia boss Tony Soprano, his family life and his life as a criminal. He is the ferocious and quick-tempered boss of the New Jersey-based DeMeo crime family and the leader of the Soprano household. But after a difficult childhood and stress over his business, Tony begins to suffer from depression and starts to experience panic attacks. So this strong and powerful boss of the underworld seeks help from Dr. Jennifer Melfi, played by Lorraine Bracco. Like the characters they portray, many of the actors are of Italian-American background and have all appeared at some time or another in gangster films or television series, with many of the cast members having previously worked together. The Sopranos is the most successful cable series in the history of television, and on a number of occasions it has been described as one of the greatest television series of all time. It has received a large number of nominations and won a multitude of Emmy Awards and Golden Globes. 3 of those Emmys belonging to James. His portrayal of Tony Soprano has won him Best Actor in a Drama, which then in turn led him to receive a paycheck of $1 million per episode, just to add on top of the $10 million he received for Season 1 and 2. James, who has become known to play these dark and sinister characters, has been rewarded for his talent by being listed as the 42nd greatest TV icon of all time. But in real life, he is caring and kind-hearted. He supports the October Woman Foundation for Breast Cancer Research in his hometown of Park Ridge and often appears at their annual October banquet, bringing other cast members of The Sopranos along to attract numbers to help the foundation. James may look the part of a rough and rugged bikie, but it wasn't on his Harley Davidson that he injured himself and was then forced to undergo knee surgery, postponing the filming of the final season of The Sopranos. Oh no, it was on his very manly Vespa scooter. And really, what could they do about it? After all, he was the star of the show and the boss, the mafia boss. She is one of Hollywood's rising young stars and has already become one of the favourites in the adventure sci-fi series Heroes. But for Hayden Panettiere, acting has been a natural part of her life. Her mother introduced her to the business when she was only 11 months old, appearing in many commercials. Then, by the age of 4, she was moving on to soap operas. But like many other growing children, she also enjoyed more of a normal life, taking an interest in singing, dancing and gymnastics. Hayden has been lucky enough to appear in many films with other big-name celebrities. She appeared as the zebra riding jockey in Racing Stripes, which also included the voices of Whoopi Goldberg and Dustin Hoffman, and played the niece to Kate Hudson in Raising Helen. She has also lent her voice to many animated films, playing Dot, a young princess of an ant colony in A Bug's Life, as well as video games Kingdom Heart and The Mark of Cree. But Hayden is probably now best known for her more mature role as Claire Bennett, the cheerleader with regenerative healing powers on Heroes. Heroes tells the story of ordinary individuals that discover they have superhuman abilities. It shows how they adapt to the changes and how they use their roles in preventing catastrophes and saving humanity. The first season of Heroes received the highest ratings for any NBC drama premiere in 5 years and attracted an average of 14.3 million viewers in the United States alone. The award-winning show is constantly leaving viewers on the edge of their seat, leaving many people asking questions about where the show is going, with all the answers yet to be revealed. Hayden has been rumoured to be dating her Heroes co-star Milo Ventimiglia, despite their 12-year age difference. This young star, unlike other young starlets who would rather spend their time partying and wasting their life away, spends a lot of her spare time supporting charity organisations and gives her support to many in need. She has participated in World Children's Day, an annual fundraising effort from McDonald's on behalf of children's projects, which has raised over $100 million to support programs, grants and scholarships, directly improving the health and well-being of children. Hayden has said, "I am honoured to support World Children's Day and Ronald McDonald House Charities to help bring attention to this very special cause." She has joined the long list of stars in the Got Milk campaign to promote young teens to drink more milk, and managed to get herself in hot water when she joined marine conservationists in Japan to protect dolphins from being killed by local fishermen. This led to an arrest warrant by Japanese police. Feeling passionate about these types of issues, Hayden has had a big involvement in the Save the Whales campaign, handing a letter of protest to the Norwegian ambassador in the United States, arguing that Norway should stop its hunt for whales, while also delivering one to the Japanese ambassador calling for an end to Japan's scientific hunt of whales.
I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's a very important and special thing to me, and I've been asking a lot of candidates about it, and it's weighed heavily on my decision on who I voted for, and it's something that I will continue to do until the day it gets finished and it gets outlawed.
She is most likely the world's most famous cheerleader, but in reality it seems Hayden is also trying to become one of the world's biggest heroes as well.